Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin reporting for the Offshore Gaming Association. That's OSGA.com, your number one source for information on the offshore sportsbook industry. That's OSGA.com. It's Wednesday, September 18th, and I have three free selections in the NFL on Sunday, the 22nd. NFL card. And keep in mind, folks, I'm taping 5 days before, 4 days before, whatever the case may be, quite a bit before the start of these games. So these lines are all subject to change. Just a reminder, hit that subscribe button below. It's what keeps these videos alive here on the OSGA channel. My last 30 videos, we've gone 48 and 34. That's good for 59%. That's awfully darn good no matter how you cut it over that length of time. Which encompasses about 3 months. So, congratulations to all of you who have subscribed and followed me. You made yourself some pretty decent money. And for those who haven't, just click the subscribe button below. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation to pay. There's no hidden agenda, and there's no ulterior motive. Thank you. Let's get to the three NFL selections on Sunday, starting with the game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Currently, the Bills are a 6-point favorite at 5 dimes. I've used Buffalo on each of the first 2 weeks in the NFL season on these free pick videos, and I'm going to go with them again on Sunday. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The Cincinnati Bengals coming off a 41-17 loss to San Francisco in their home opener last week as they were absolutely demolished defensively as the 49ers racked up 572 yards of total offense and they averaged 8.1 yards per rushing attempt. Buffalo, in their first two games, 379 yards average of total offense. So looks like the Bills will be able to move the ball without any problem against the Bengals on Sunday. This is also a Cincinnati team that's going 0-7 straight up in ATS as a favorite or dog of 6.5 or less. When coming off a home game in their last seven, I should say, and they lost those 7 games by 18.9 points per contest. Repeating again, Cincinnati 0-7 straight up in ATS in their last 7 games as a favorite or underdog of 6.5 points or less when they played their previous game at home. Losing by 18.9 points per contest. Also, the Bengals 0-5 straight up in ATS in their last 5 since last year, and when they're in the point spread parameter of -2 to +6, and they're playing a team coming off a win. The Bills, by the way, 2-0 to start the season, and Cincinnati lost those 5 games by 19.4 points per contest. So not exactly been a sterling situation here for the Cincinnati Bengals, the one they'll be in on Sunday. The Bengals also, their rushing attack was anemic in their first 2 games. 33 rushing attempts for just 59 yards, averaging just 1.8 yards per attempt. Not good news when you're facing a Buffalo defense that was number 2 in total defense last year, is number 6 currently after the first 2 weeks of this season. Cincinnati's also allowed 9 sacks in their first 2 games, highly dependent upon their passing game, and Buffalo was number 1 against the pass a season ago. I believe they're somewhere around number 6 this year. This is a Buffalo defense that returns 10 starters from that stellar unit a season ago, and they might be even better this season. This is, like I alluded to, Buffalo 2-0 thus far. Both of those games came on the road. This will be the Bills' home opener, and you might be shocked to know, despite the fact that Buffalo's been in pretty much mediocrity over the last 4 or 5 seasons, the Bills have managed to go 18-10 in their last 28 at home. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills in their home opener, -6 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Next game, highly anticipated matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs, 1 p.m. Eastern Time start. The Ravens are currently a 7-point road underdog at Bovada. Baltimore is one of the few teams right now that can match Kansas City offensively. I know they played Miami and Arizona in the first two games, but Baltimore really racked up some some super offensive numbers. As a matter of fact, 541.5 yards of total offense and on average in their first two games. And this is a Baltimore Ravens defense going back to last season, much better than the Kansas City stop unit, not only last year, but this year as well. Over the first two games, the Ravens have allowed 13.5 points per contest and a shade under 275 yards a game. Lamar Jackson is just off to a super start in his second year in the first two games from Baltimore, doing it both with his arm and his legs. And last year, Baltimore was an underdog on four separate occasions out of their 16 games played a season ago, and the Ravens were 4-0 against the spread and 3-1 straight up as an underdog last year, and this will be the first time as an underdog this year. And under John Harbaugh, Baltimore is 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games as an away underdog versus an opponent off a straight-up win. Kansas City's off to a 2-0 start and defeated the Raiders last week 28-10. We're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens here, plus the 7 at the Kansas City Chiefs. Last game, the Atlanta Falcons at the Indianapolis Colts. And since November of last year, Atlanta is 0-7 straight up in ATS when their point spread parameter is +2 to -5.5. Right now, they're +1, and they lost those 7 games by a substantial average of 13.6 points per contest. Atlanta also 0-4 against the spread as a dog since last year, and they lost as a dog of 2 or more, and they lost those 4 games by 17 points per contest. Indianapolis, with or without Andrew Luck, has been an awfully good team the last 2 years. As a matter of fact, in their last 12 regular season games under Frank Reich, the Colts have gone 10-2, and that includes a perfect 6-0 at home, where they won those 6 home contests by 15 points per game. They've been impressive in their first 2 games of the season, albeit with a 1-1 record. But both of those games were on the road, and they took San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers, to overtime in their season opener before falling 30-24. And last week they defeated a very good Tennessee Titans team on the road, 19-17. This will be their home opener, and I think they'll be ready to play in this game against a quality NFC opponent in the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to take the Indianapolis Colts here, -1 over the Atlanta Falcons. Repeating again, the Buffalo Bills -6 over the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens +7 over the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Indianapolis Colts as a 1-point favorite at home over the Falcons. So, since September of last year, folks, my September NFL football picks since 2010 are 106-52 at my site, my paid selections, I should say. That's good for 67%, and that's independently documented and monitored. There's no baloney when I put out a record. Again, September NFL picks since 2010. 106-52, including 7-4 with my last 11 this year. And you can find all of those picks at my website. That's rbwins.com, where you pay a little to make a lot. That's rbwins.com. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below. Thank you, and good luck with all your picks.